In Pakistan, since 1947 till to this date, till today, 3 to 5 minor Hindu girls are there. But there were a lot of poor Hindus who had no idea that partition has happened.
Let's try and understand, how do you find what families are being targeted? What are your sources?
I have around 250 Hindus in Pakistan, 400 Hindus in Bangladesh, and they keep texting us the about the incidents that don't see the light of the day.
So far, you have managed to rescue them.
Totally, we have rescued around 9,300 families, and
That's a big
2,000 to
number.
2,200 orphans live at my camp. The big part of Pakistan's economy is exploiting the Hindus who have come to India one last time by charging them 200 times extra. This battle feels very lonely for me. Battle for Hindus feels very lonely. When I come to Israel, I realize that we are not alone.
Namaskar, Shalom, and welcome. My name is Ravital Moses, aka Moses in Israel, your favorite Indian Jew, born and raised in India and now living in Israel. And my goal is to bridge India and Israel one video at a time. And today we have the man who is saving Hindus from Pakistan and Bangladesh, the one and only Nikhil Chandwani. Brother, welcome to Israel. This is your second visit. For people, to give you context, I met Nikhil Bhai in 2024.
24.
It was his first visit in Israel and we instantly connected, and now it is his second visit. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And last time was so random.
It was very random, it was very spontaneous, but also the video that we filmed is still the most watched video on my channel.
Wow.
So that's amazing. But आपका स्वागत है यहाँ पे. Just for people to know, what are you doing in Israel?
So I'm a part of IIFC delegation. It's India-Israel Friendship Circle, and they have a delegation of around 8 to 10 people. A few from India, few from the UK, and we are here to see what actually happened on 7th October in 2023. So we went to the Nova Festival, then we also saw Jerusalem and now Tel Aviv.
Okay, and we are you're going to be leaving soon.
4 hours, yeah.
In 4 hours. So he managed to make time for us. So thank you for giving us time from your busy schedule. But today's topic is going to be, it's a serious topic because it's not often spoken about.
Yes.
But we know it's happening everywhere, but specifically in Pakistan and Bangladesh. If you can give us some context with regards to what is the situation of the Hindu community in Pakistan and Bangladesh, and why are they being persecuted and targeted? Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So in 1947, Pakistan and India became separate countries. The British Empire, they partitioned us. India became a secular country where Jews, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, everybody lived together. Pakistan became an Islamic country. And why was it created? Because a bunch of Muslims hated Hindus. They did not want to live with Hindus, and that's why they chose to create a new country. Then that became Pakistan. Pakistan jab bana, a lot of Hindus, like my ancestors, they migrated from that land. Partition happened without our approval because Sindh was always a Hind land, but then it was given away to Pakistan and millions of us migrated to India. But there were a lot of poor Hindus who had no idea that partition has happened. They were farmers. The news never reached them.
And it was not the age of social media, so
It
nobody had
was
no idea.
not the age of social media, and these Hindus, the tribal Hindus, were farmers. They had no idea that partition has happened, and when they came to know that they don't live in India anymore and it is an Islamic republic, the borders had closed. So they were stuck there. In Pakistan, since 1947 till to this date, till today, 3 to 5 minor Hindu girls are there. There's a term called halala, where a 50-year-old Maulana does horrible things with this 13-year-old Hindu kid. Then this kid is given electric shocks. Her birth certificate is fake to show that she's 19. And then she's brought in front of the camera where she's forced to smile and accept Islam. So this is happening since 1947 to this day. And the similar things are now happening in Bangladesh.
This has been happening since the partition happened. But when did you get involved in, first of all, understanding what the scenario is, and why did you can never ask somebody why did you get this calling hoti hai,
Mhm.
but when did you decide ki enough is enough, I need to do something about this?
So it was 2017. I had an e-learning platform that was acquired. Back then, I was a reader and a writer. I used to write articles for different columns that I had. So I had a column with Times of India, a very small column where I would write about the history of certain lands. So that's when I was researching about the history of Hinduism in Sindh. And I wrote an article about how our history was, our
Hmm.
beautiful 5,000, 6,000 year old history was. I published that article. That article went viral on social media. And I thought that's a victory for a writer, that you have readers now. But then I was approached by a Hindu from Pakistan on Facebook, and he told me that whatever that you have written is incomplete, and you have taken all the information from second and third party sources, compiled it, and published it under your name.
Hmm.
Which is right. That's what I did. That's how you research. You go search for different sources, then you compile an article. Because I did not physically go to Pakistan, right?
Mhm.
He was calling me out.
Hmm.
And I was very angry. I was very angry at him. And I told him, who the hell are you? Why are you demeaning the work that I have done? Let me celebrate that I have readers now.
Mhm.
I never had readers before that. He told me I'm a Hindu from Pakistan. I have a younger sister who is scared because somebody has been following her from school to home, and we haven't shared it with her parents, or else they'll remove her from the school and they'll not let her study.
Hmm.
I said you should have come in 1947 when partition had happened. Why are you complaining to me in 2017 about your situation? And he told me that Pakistan never granted us passports. We were never granted passports. Without a Pakistani passport, they cannot get Indian visa and they cannot come to India.
Hmm.
I ignored that message. I thought I shouldn't be talking to a Pakistani, whether a Hindu or a Muslim. 8 days later, a news platform published that this guy's sister was abducted and her body was found near a river. I went and messaged him multiple times, apologizing. He never responded. Even to this day, he has never responded.
Hmm.
But 2017, there was a calling. That's where I decided that I need to do something about it.
Hmm.
And that's how this all began.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I spoke to you 2 years ago,
Yes.
just to clarify, when did you actually start working towards this mission?
2017,
Okay.
2017 to 21, I was doing it silently. Then in 2022, I started posting little bit on social media about it. And 2025, I went all in.
All in. Okay.
Yeah.
So because we met in 2024,
Yeah.
you were still like, it was still there, out there, but not there.
Yeah.
But now because you're out there, let's try and get some more transparency, because I would like to bring this story and this mission to a wider audience.
Point.
Before we move on, let me share a quick insight. All of you have been watching this channel, but 80% of you have not subscribed to this channel. Only with your support, I'm able to grow, invite better guests, and create an impact in the India-Israel space. So please go ahead, click that subscribe button and help this channel grow. You can also support this channel on Ko-fi. With great content comes great responsibility and great expense. So every little bit helps. And now, back to the show. Let's try and understand, how do you find what families are being targeted? What are your sources?
So I have around 250 Hindus in Pakistan, 400 Hindus in Bangladesh, and they keep texting us about the about about the incidents that don't see the light of the day in any other source.
Hmm.
And they give all the proofs, the FIR copy, the before and after photos and videos of the girl,
Mhm.
her screams, her cries when she's being pegged, because now it's the world of digital era, and the Hindus, they record everything, whatever is happening in and around them. So we get all these videos and photos from these sources, the 250 Hindus and 400 Hindus in respected countries.
Mhm.
Once we get that, then we decide what to do about it.
Hmm.
So first thing first, in Pakistan, let's say a rickshaw wala has kidnapped, an auto wala has kidnapped a girl. So we can just pay him an X amount, get the girl back. I mean, Pakistan is a mercenary country, right? In the end, it's a lawless land. So that's what we try to do. Once that happens, we shift them to a Hindu majority towns. There are a couple of Hindu majority towns in Sindh. So
Okay.
that's where we try to shift them. Once that is done, we help them with their passports, the visa and travel, and I just fund. I
Hmm.
just fund their documents.
Okay.
The Hindus on ground, they take care of everything else.
Hmm.
And once the visa is approved, I pay for their travel. And once they come over here, I tell the adults to go find work. You are in a free land now, find work. The kids and the orphans, for them, I have a refugee camp, two camps in Jodhpur and one in Jaisalmer. And that's where I teach them, I feed them, and I try to give them the best education I could do. And that's where I have around 2000 to 2200 kids overall.
So far, you have managed to rescue them.
Totally, we have rescued around 9300 families, and
That's a big
2000 to
number.
2200 orphans live at my camp, where
Rehabilitation center.
rehabilitation centers.
Okay.
They study and they eat for free there.
Okay. Wow, there's a lot to process, so it's taking me a minute. Let's talk about funding for a second
Yeah,
because everything needs money.
yeah.
And with this economy,
Mm-hmm.
it's getting tougher and tougher. But
Mm-hmm.
this mission is a very expensive mission because you're paying
Mm-hmm.
for visas, you have to pay
Mm-hmm.
other people, and I'm sure there are other costs. How are you able to raise funds, and who are these people who are supporting you?
So we have to go back to 2017.
Okay.
Since 2017, we started this, and we have been doing this till 2021 very silently,
Hmm.
because I never wanted to raise funds for this, because it doesn't cost a lot. Your
I see.
passport costs 400 rupees. That's it.
I see.
400 rupees is what? $5?
Hmm. But if you're saving, let's say, because you said you saved around more than 9,000,
Yes, but that's
it's
where that stereotype comes. You're a Jew, I'm a Sindhi. We know how to make money. We never go and ask. We know how to make money. I had a factory,
hmm.
a biomass pellet factory, and that pays for 90% of the things that I do.
Hmm.
So that's how we started till 2021, very silently. But then what happened was that I needed a team of doctors and lawyers, because 40% of the girls that we have rescued were in Pakistan. So they were. I don't share about this on social media with their photos, because I want to keep privacy. I can't publicly, post about this. But they were. What happens is that these girls, they have UTIs which doesn't get treated. Best of the best doctors, it doesn't get treated.
Right.
The PCODs, their periods are 6 months late,
Hmm.
8 months late, because of whatever they have faced.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea. I can't manage this alone. I can't pay so many doctors alone. And that's where I started honestly sharing their before and after stories on
Hmm.
Instagram with their videos.
I see.
Their video in Pakistan, their video in India. So it
Hmm.
was that flexible. So once I started posting about this, right now I have a team of 300 doctors. They are ready to fly for free to my camp, treat the kids, and come back. With
Hmm.
their own money, they do that. The social media helped me right there. The lawyers. So once the Hindus they arrive in India, they need to apply for LTV. LTV means long term visa.
Hmm.
And that is the first step towards getting citizenship in India.
I see.
You need to do paperwork for that. And paperwork gets costly. And Pakistan is a failed state. It's I call Pakistan the begging ball of the world, because when you're applying for the long term visa, you have to go to the Pakistani embassy,
Hmm.
and Pakistani embassy will reissue you the passport.
Hmm.
In Pakistan, that passport costs 400 rupees. In India, they are charging 8,000 rupees.
No way.
The big part of Pakistan's economy is exploiting the Hindus who have come to India one last time by charging them 200 times extra,
Hmm.
just to renew the passport so that they can apply for the long term visa, and then after 5 years surrender the Pakistani passport. So for all of that, I needed lawyers.
Hmm.
That's why I started posting on social media. So when I started posting on social media till 2024, I never took a single penny from anybody. But 24, the Bangladesh thing happened, where in Bangladesh, lots of Hindu homes were burned. There's a village called Thakurgaon, 50 homes were burned over there in Bangladesh. Now they are asking for help, because I claim on social media that, see, this is how I'm helping Pakistani Hindus. They're approaching me that, Nikhil, you're claiming that you help these people, help us. And I had to stand with them because nobody else was doing it. And for that, I needed the funds.
Hmm.
So that's where I registered my NGO just 8 months ago. Back then, I would take 5% of the money used to come as donation.
Okay.
Right now, 10% of all the money comes as donation. 90% I still invest myself, my own
Hmm.
money. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Again, a Sindhi and a Jew, we don't ask.
No, kudos, because it's not something that is going to get over in a year. This
Yeah.
is a marathon.
Yeah.
And actually, yesterday, when you gave a speech at the dinner and you said
Mm.
it's a long journey, it's
Mm-hmm.
lonely, it's
Yeah.
exhausting, it's
Yeah.
frustrating. But at the end of the day, you are doing God's work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still surprised when all of this has come out on social media. I'm very happy now that people are supporting in some way or the other,
Mm.
be it giving some funds or doctors flying for
Yeah.
free and putting their own money. But I feel like there should be more people doing what you're doing, or at least join forces.
Yeah. So
Because,
I'll
yeah.
tell you the problem with Hindus. Problem with Hindus is we have focused too much on advocacy.
Hmm.
We have not focused.
What do you mean by advocacy for Hindus to the global world, or what?
So what happened was Deepu Das was in Bangladesh.
Okay.
He was last year in December. The videos were horrific and they were everywhere on social media.
Mm-hmm.
People protested in London. They protested in states. They protested everywhere. And everybody in the world knew that there was a Hindu who was burnt alive by Muslim mob in Bangladesh.
Hmm.
But nobody realized that that kid was the lone earning member of his family. His family had no means for survival, and out of a billion Hindus, nobody came forward to help the family.
Hmm.
My team gave him 10 lakh rupees, his family.
His family.
Our team gave his family 10 lakh rupees. I have photos, videos of it where they were in the bank, because I take all the proofs whenever I send funds that this has happened, actually happened. That is one of the reason I do videos of these people after they receive the help.
Hmm.
But Hindus need to do more. I mean, not through me, you can do it directly.
Hmm.
I mean, if some incident is happening with a poor Hindu anywhere, go, and the best help that you can give is not advocacy. It is financial. Just help them financially. Pay them off.
Hmm.
Pay them off. Ensure that they don't go hungry. They don't feel sad, financially sad, because they have lost the only earning member of the family. Because in Pakistan and Bangladesh, Hindus are being butchered. They are being in cold. In Bangladesh, they are being on fake blasphemy charges. Their homes are smoked. The temples are destroyed.
Hmm.
Hindus are living on an edge right there. And we all need to support. And it's not just Hindus I want to talk about right now. The Christians. Every year, 1,000 Christian girls are abducted in Pakistan. These are Christian activists from Pakistan who are living in asylum somewhere,
Hmm.
are claiming. And they have all the video evidences and proofs of it. The families are crying, the FIR is registered, but police doesn't take any action. Kidnappers themselves boast that this girl is with us.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, 7th
As
October. Yeah.
yes.
So that is one of the reason I am in Israel. When you asked me the first question, I said I'm in a delegation and all of that. But I'm here because this battle feels very lonely for me. Battle for Hindus feels very lonely. When I come to Israel, I realize that we are not alone. And there's another ancient civilization who is fighting the same battle against jihadists.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because I know I've spoken to a lot of my Indian friends.
Hmm.
They support silently, but nobody has out loud, like said it out loud. And I feel like now need to be out there
Yeah.
because the enemy is doing everything out there on camera, putting body cams, filming everything. So I think showing support to another ancient
Mm.
civilization who is going through something, that is the least you could do. So thank you for saying this. I'm sure the Jewish world feels more supported because we also feel very lonely and we feel like everybody hates us. But we are happy to know that we have people in India
A
who
billion Hindus. A billion Hindus stand with Israel always. Yeah.
I'm into
Unconditionally.
that. Coming back to some of the details, in terms of the money matters, how much does it cost you to save a family from Pakistan, a Hindu family from Pakistan?
So right now the borders are closed. Right now we are unable to save anybody. So we are helping them over right there.
Okay.
In a few months it has been closed and it's extremely difficult to get anybody out because of Operation Sindoor and Pakistan again trying to cross the line and
Mm.
trying to provoke us
Mm-hmm.
and then cry victim in front of Donald Trump. But back in the day, it would cost us somewhere around 15,000 to 40,000 per family.
Mm.
Sometimes even lesser than that. Sometimes the family had the money, they all needed help with the documentation.
Mm.
Sometimes it was just about getting a sponsorship from us. So, different cases. Not
Okay.
always it was me funding everything. It was not always I am taking care of the entire sponsorships. But whatever they wanted, my bank was open.
Mm.
So, I just gave them this option that as an elder brother, I'll be there. If you want to come to India, if you want to survive, thrive, live, whatever you need, we'll help you to the best of our interest, best of our knowledge.
Okay. So now because you've come a very long way, but I know there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
A lot to like I'm sure you're going to do this for a very long time. Now that you've established rehabilitation centers in
Yeah.
India, what is your next goal?
The first goal is Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, we built a Hindu temple on the Tripuri Hills, made a video about it. And this was the first temple for Tripuri tribal Hindus in Bangladesh since 1947.
Mm.
And these were tribal Hindus in Bangladesh who were getting the land was getting seized, and they had no place where they can pray, come together, and think about how they can answer back
Hmm.
when something like this happens. So we build them a space.
Okay.
We also build a Gurukul for them where they are able to learn, they are able to understand Sanatan. Because what happens is that when you have such places, your community gets stronger. And once it gets stronger, they are able to challenge back. They are able to resist forced conversions. Because
Hmm.
1.5 crore Hindus, 1.5 crore Hindus live in Bangladesh.
Wow, that's a big
Yeah,
number.
that's a bigger number
I
than.
don't think people know these numbers.
This is official figures from Bangladeshi government's official figures. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's their census, not ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are the Hindus. Again, partition was done without asking them, so they don't deserve to all leave their land and come over here and start new. They should live over there and thrive. They should have equal rights because they are the original inhabitants of the land.
Hmm.
So in Sindh also, Sindh has been continuously inhabited by Hindus for 5,000 years. Indus Valley civilization was a Hindu civilization.
Hmm.
शिव का वहाँ पे मूर्ति मिला है. It was a नटराज का मिला हुआ है. It was a Hindu civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Israel, you have proofs of Jews' existence over here for 3,000 years, 4,000 years, 2,000 years. Same with Hindus,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they deserve to stay there.
Hmm.
They deserve to fight back. And regarding Pakistan, it's harder than Bangladesh because there are only around 4 million Hindus who are left.
Hmm.
And 4 million is a small number because they're spread out everywhere.
I see.
The problem with Hindus is that we don't live in communes and communities together. We're always spread out
Hmm.
based on the businesses that we are in.
I see.
So these Hindus, they all have to one day eventually sadly come to India. But we have this plan of pushing for a partition of Pakistan where Sindh can become a separate country
Hmm.
called Sindhu Desh. Even a lot of voices are coming out from Pakistan where they don't want to live with Pakistan, the
I
Sindh,
see.
Sindh as a state.
I see.
And Sindh is a huge state.
Hmm.
And why am I saying this? Because in Pakistan, all of Sindhu rivers, which is Indus rivers, water is being diverted to Pakistan's Punjab by Pakistani army, and Pakistani army does corporate farming with that water. So Sindh is facing drought. Sindh has no money, and they don't culturally align themselves with Pakistan.
Hmm.
That's why they want a separate country.
I
Same
see.
with Balochistan.
Hmm.
Baloch wants a separate country, and they are fighting for their rights. Baloch are the Kurds of South Asia.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I like the analogy actually.
Yeah.
Okay. What about, I know you vocally say it out loud on social that you get threats every day.
हम्म,
आपको डर नहीं लगता?
यार इसलिए इसराइल आता हो ना. इसराइल में आप न्यूज़ में देखते हो कि बम फूट रहे हैं, मिसाइलें आ रही हैं. परसों रात को 3 बजे तक मैंने पार्टी की है बीच में,
तेल अवीव के
टेल
बीच में.
अवीव में. मेरे साथ सरदार नाच रहा था. मतलब लोकल सरदार. मेरे साथ एक बुर्खा क्लैड देयर वाज़ अ वुमन, शी वाज़ आल्सो डांसिंग
Hmm.
हैपीली. सो व्हाट अपार्थाइड यार. पहली बात तो कोई अपार्थाइड कुछ है ही नहीं यहाँ पे. सब तो खुशी-खुशी नाच रहे थे. वे Ethiopian Jews who were partying, who were vibing,
Hmm.
and nobody cared where you came from. Nobody cared there's an active war going on. You have enemies in every corner of the world right now.
Hmm.
I mean, सब चाहता है कि भाई इज़राइल हट जाए.
Hmm.
Everybody wants Israel हट जाए. But the people in Israel, they are not just fighting back, but they're partying while at it. And वो देखने के बाद I think यार वे death threats तो ठीक है ऑनलाइन आ रहे हैं. I can also go party, have fun while I'm at it.
Love your perspective as an Indian who's, visiting Israel.
Yeah.
I probably can give you a little bit of insight and also to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because Israel has been a conflict zone for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
The Israelis are like, हम जीना छोड़ दे क्या हम?
Mm.
You know what I mean? I mean, हमारी भी life है.
Yeah.
सो देयर इज दिस माइंडसेट ऑफ भाई हम रेजिलिएंट भी है बट वी
Mhm.
हम जीना भी चाहते हैं।
Mhm.
भले हम पार्टी करें 4 बजे, इट कैन बी इन -4
हुँ,
शेल्टर में।
हुँ।
आपको पता है वो वीडियोस बहुत आए थे कि
डीजे
इजराइलीज आर
चल रहा है।
पार्टिंग इन द बॉम्ब शेल्टर ड्यूरिंग द
या
वॉर,
या
बिकॉज आई मीन लाइफ डजंट स्टॉप हियर।
पॉइंट।
सो वो भी है एज एन इंडियन। वो मुझे थोड़ा सा ट्रांजिशन, इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी
या
बिकॉज वी डिडंट ग्रो अप विद दिस इन इंडिया, और
पॉइंट,
एटलीस्ट द पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया दैट आई लिव्ड इन।
पॉइंट।
आई कम फ्रॉम थाने, मुंबई,
या
महाराष्ट्र। वहां पे इतना कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं है
Mhm.
compared to North India,
पॉइंट।
right? Because borders है and all of that.
Mhm.
So coming here and seeing everybody, मतलब भाई brain इनका switch on switch off होता है war के time पे।
ओके।
तो I had to pick that quality and do. So no, but that I think that's a great point of view. But let's come to, because you've been actively working and meeting these people जो rehabilitation में आते हैं, have you emotionally broken down उनको देख के, या घर
हुँ।
जाके कभी ऐसे अकेले बैठे हो?
यहाँ भी कैंप गया था मैं, आई वाज़ इन जोधपुर
Okay.
एंड देन जैसलमेर। जोधपुर में 2 छोटे कैंप है हमारे, नए-नए खुले हैं। वहाँ गया, वहाँ वीडियो बना रहा था मैं, बच्चों से पहली बार मिल रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे। एंड आई वाज़ सीइंग दोज़ फेसेस यार। द फर्स्ट फेस दैट आई सॉ, आई रिमेंबर दैट दिस लिटिल वन वाज़ इन पाकिस्तान।
How old was she?
शी वाज़ 6 व्हेन दैट हैपेंड
Hmm.
and her mother was in front of her. Her mother was a single mother, she was in front of her. And neighbors took her in, and this girl was just sitting right there staring at me. I remembered that face from the photos that we got on WhatsApp about the murdered mother and all of things that I just said.
Mm-hmm.
It broke me down. It broke me down. Then in Jaisalmer, there was a girl, when she saw me, I had a big beard when I went to the camp.
Hmm.
She was getting scared of my shadows, you know, because I'm a man, right? So whenever I was walking, she was running away from those shadows
Hmm.
because she has that post-traumatic stress where she cannot even stare at the shadow of a man. My camp is like mostly women run. All my teachers are females, both in Jodhpur and Jaisalmer.
Hmm.
Our caretaker is a female, so men are not allowed. Is a situation over there.
I see.
Yeah, we have to keep it like that because these are vulnerable. Yes,
Need to make them feel comfortable and gain more
point,
trust.
point.
I understand.
Exactly. So the girl was running away. I was scared to see that. I was so sad to see that. I mean, we can feed them, we can teach them, but we cannot remove the pain that they have endured.
Hmm.
This experience is a horrifying experience that they had to endure at an age where I wouldn't even expect this on my worst enemy
Hmm.
or my mortal enemies. I
Hmm.
don't even expect this to happen to anybody. Never.
I see.
Yeah, so it was traumatizing. It was
Hmm.
extremely traumatizing.
I
And
see.
I just share 10% of the stuff on social media because a lot of things I wanna keep things private. I can't do everything public. But
And
then
also the enemies are watching, so you have to.
the enemy is scared of us, you know. The enemy is scared of us. The governor of Sindh, he was calling me out publicly.
Really?
Yeah, I was so happy. This is my testimonial. This is my testimonial. And that's what I'm getting. वो बोल रहा था कि किसी के बहकावे में आके हिंदू भारत चले जाता है. That's how he started his speech, and I was laughing seeing that.
Oh, well, I strongly believe in karma, so karma will take care of them.
It is. Karma is taking care of that, and
Yes.
you need to know that Noor Khan base in Pakistan was used by the Iranian army
Hmm.
while they were fighting Israel.
I see.
Yeah, so Bibi also knows about it now, and he gave a statement about it.
Hmm. Okay.
Since he has given a statement about it recently now, so it's India and Israel versus Pakistan and probably Iran.
So, since we're talking about allyship and partnership,
Yeah,
as a Hindu, actually, what do you think Hindus can learn from Jews and Jews can learn from Hindus? Because I know there's so much more to learn.
yeah. What can Hindus learn from Jews? First thing we can learn as Hindus is that we need to learn how to fight. We need to learn how to come together and fight as one voice. I know you might have a lot of internal conflicts, but when it comes to a war with your enemies who are trying to destroy you, you all come together. Mostly you all come together. But Hindus, there are certain people who wanted peace with Pakistan, certain people who were opposing our own Indian army, certain Hindus who are communist, who are openly Pakistan supporters, they back Pakistan. So we need to learn that these people should not exist.
at least have unity during
The
a
time of
time of national
crisis.
crisis.
Time
Yes.
of national crisis, yes. And Jews need to learn one thing, that you need to present yourself in a more better way on international media, because I came over here. I
Mm.
know what happened on 7th October. I know how babies were. I know the survival stories.
Hmm.
I know how the tunnels were used by Hamas. I know those hospitals were just a randomly constructed building where tunnels were built and Hamas was using civilians to hide and bomb your kids.
Correct.
Yeah, but the world doesn't know. The world needs to know about it. Hindus, we have learned how to do the advocacy very well. Where if certain incident happens, we take it to global platforms.
Yeah.
Every person knows that this incident has happened.
Hmm.
Jews, Israel, they also need to do that,
I
because
agree.
that's when a lot of ancients will be ready to back you. A lot of ancients are still there. I mean, the Iranian citizens, for that matter, they love you. The Iranian citizens love you. Lebanese citizens love you. Not in southern Lebanon, but northern Lebanon, they love you. They understand. The Gazans, I mean,
Questionable.
mm, but a lot of Gazans were crying when IDF was leaving, because
Mm.
they knew inside that once IDF leaves, Hamas will come and again their daughters.
Mm.
They'll kill their daughters.
I completely agree with you. We
Yeah.
are not winning the PR game, the information warfare.
Yes.
I also feel like we are, like we said, it's a numbers game. We
Yeah.
are Jews are 0.2% of the world population.
Hmm.
And then there are more people to talk negatively about us than positively. So I think that is also there. But my personal critique is when Israel does advocacy, it only does advocacy and sends information, or it caters to the Western audiences. And that is why I also
Yeah.
started Moses in Israel, because I was like, I can't talk for the entire East,
Yeah.
but India, because I'm born and raised, and I felt morally responsible to give back to my country in some way. When I say my country, India is still my country. So I started to make content for Indians about Israel, and I feel like Israel should now focus a lot of its resources, even funding. And when I say funding, it means you want to do business with Indian companies. Why not? It's going to take some time, but it will happen.
Yeah.
But I agree with
But
you.
one thing, Israel has a billion supporters in India. When you say you are just 0.2%, 12% of the world supports Israel, and that's India. And you might have seen that on social media.
But empty vessels make most noise. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I understand, and I truly believe that we have more supporters than haters, at least in India.
Yeah.
But sometimes I am caught on the wrong side of the algorithm, and I only see hate for Israel.
You have seen this movie, Lion King?
Yes, it's
So,
my favorite movie. It's the
yeah.
first movie I watched.
So Lion King, when Simba was born,
Yes,
his father Mustafa, right?
Musafa.
Mustafa, yeah. He shows Simba the entire kingdom,
Hmm.
but he also says that there's darkness over there. You can't cross the light and go to the darkness.
Hmm.
So that's what India is. India is 80% light, but there's 20% darkness. Who is trying to, destroy our country, who is trying to destroy peace in our country.
Hmm.
And our army chief has given the name 0.5% war. So in India, we fight the 0.5% war as well.
Hmm.
And that is the internal war, where there are certain people in India who doesn't want India to prosper, India to grow.
Hmm.
And when I talk about the nationalists in India, the people who want India to grow, I automatically mean those people who support Israel also.
Hmm.
Well, all the nationalists in India support and back Israel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Which brings me to the last segment of this
Yeah.
episode. I always ask my guests, because my audience is from India and Indians living in the diaspora
Yeah.
majorly. Of course, we have an international audience as
Mm-hmm.
well. But what is one special message you would like to give to our Desi people, the people of Bharat, or people of Indian origin? What's your message?
To my Indian brothers and sisters, to my Desi brothers and sisters, I just want to tell you one thing, that the time to act is now. We have a huge battle, we have a huge fight that is on the way, and we need to learn from these people how to tackle that fight. And there are jihadists who are trying to annihilate us, destroy us, who are trying to smoke us down, but we need to learn from the Jews how to answer back. Because if we don't, then we'll be on the losing side. We'll be sadly on the losing side. But thankfully, in West Bengal, Hindus finally woke up and their voices were heard. that voices were heard. So, like how you were able to save West Bengal, it's time to save every single state in India, because once we do that, we are the ancients. We are always destined to rise. We'll rise again. Thank you.
But that was awesome. Thank you for your words of wisdom.
Uh,
How time flies by. Nikhil bhai, thank you once again. I'm kind of sad that you're leaving, but I hope I get to see you soon in Israel.
Coming soon. We're coming very soon again. Yeah.
Stay tuned for episode 3. But I'm going to add Nikhil bhai's social media. Everybody knows him, but I'm still going to add
Thank
your
you.
socials, and I'm also going to add the link, if you have a link, to funding his mission of saving Hindus in Pakistan and Bangladesh. And
Send me books. Send me books. Like if you want to send right now.
okay,
So we're building a library at my camp.
okay,
Send me interesting books for the kids.
okay. So
Yeah.
I'm going to send all the details where you can
Yeah.
send the books to.
Yeah.
Any kind of support, even as simple as sharing this video or sharing his mission, is going to be of help.
Absolutely.
And in the meantime, stay safe, watch the right content, and I'll see you next time.